Anxiety has to have an alternative, otherwise you're stuck with anxiety. What I mean by that is that, let's say you wanted to be fit and go to the gym. So going to the gym is an alternative to not being fit. Many people use diets or other kinds of food programs. Well, that's an alternative to feeling how you don't want to feel. If you want to learn to read a foreign language or speak a foreign language, that's an alternative to the language that you already speak. So everything that you want to achieve is achieved by finding the alternative to what you already have. I want to learn to program a computer. Well, learning that language is an alternative to not being able to, right? So when I say to people, okay, well, people say to me, right, like I'm anxious. Okay, well, what alternative are you practicing? They look at me as if I'm crazy, right? Like, what do you mean, an alternative? I am just anxious. Yeah, well, if you don't have an alternative, you've got no choice. You have to be anxious. So this is the thing. Anxiety needs an alternative. And in the anxiety coach community, we use cognitive behavioral coaching tools and techniques to create alternatives to anxiety. And then we practice those because, as we know, whatever you practice, you get more of. So using the right tools and techniques becomes your alternative to just being helplessly, let's call it helplessly anxious. If you're interested in developing the alternative to anxiety, which is basically not being anxious, join the Anxiety Coach community. It's free, and it's a community of people who are dedicated to the idea that you don't need to be anxious in your life, right? So that they're moving away from anxiety. Use that as the first alternative, and then consider using the cognitive behavioral coaching tools and techniques, etc. in Anxiety Wizard. That's going to give you the actual tools and techniques that are an alternative to anxiety. It's a different way of being, and it's a different way of experiencing. So if you don't have an alternative, you have to be anxious. If you have an alternative, you're always practicing a better experience. And that is like joyous. It's just brilliant because you're always moving forward in your life. You'll find the links for the Anxiety Coach community and Anxiety Wizard below this video. I look forward to interacting with you and helping you to develop your personal alternatives to anxiety.